So let's begin by taking a comfortable seat. And your seat may be on blankets or a block for Virasana Hero's Pose. Try to do the one you did not do last time so that you are mindful about how you plop your tuchus on the mat. Not always the same. Keep your body guessing. That's my sister's quote. Add variety. And you may find that Virasana Hero's Pose is only going to be your friend for a little while, and prop up, prop up, prop up. And laying down is perfectly fine if that is the place that is right for you. So you want to be comfortable. You want to practice ahimsa, absence of violence. So I want to share some of what I gleaned from Feroz Rashvi, the senior Iyengar teacher that I was able to take several classes with this weekend. I love dipping my toes into the Iyengar pond because the sharpness of the cueing and their dedication to the architecture and the geometry of the poses I find very appealing. But there's a very fine line. The practice can become very rigid. So remind yourself, take what you need. So I'm backing it off a little bit. It's more like an ant flavor. It's not quite as rigid. At one point, the teacher said, and I laughed just think about it, but she said, and next we're going to do shoulder stand. And I don't have time to demonstrate it, so you're just going to get yourself there. And if you don't know how to do shoulder stand, frankly, I don't know why you're here. We're like, ooh. And so she was quiet for a little bit. She says, well, I'm not a harsh person, so you should learn shoulder stand. So that's, that was, you could just see 200 people cowering behind their Zoom cameras when she said that. They're asking you in every way to show up with all that you got. And that is where that rigidity sometimes comes in. Now, what was the first experience for me from an Iyengar perspective was the philosophy that they brought in, because Iyengar classes are typically one thing. You get asana, maybe just a teeny little bit of philosophy, or you get pranayama, or you get meditation, but they don't like to mix and match because they find, and I somewhat agree with this, that it becomes diluted. You end up with 3 weak things rather than one very strong thing. So better to practice each separately. So as you now begin to come into your seat, come into this moment simply by feeling the earth that supports you. So the sense of gravity. The exhalations surrenders to the gravity. The inhalation provides lift. The tailbone is your root chakra. So we pondered that last week. And then above the tailbone, so take your hand to your sacrum. So your middle finger is going to be just about right above your crack. That's your sacrum, those 5 fused vertebrae. Now take your other hand to your sternum. Take the other hand to the sternum. These 2 plates, if you will, they work together. When the sacrum falls out and back, the sternum drops into the body, we collapse. When the sacrums are moving the sacrum into the body, draw the sacrum in and feel how your sternum lifts up. So we're going to ponder a little bit the relationship with these 2. So let yourself just roll onto the back of your sit bones. You feel again the sacrum is rolling out and the sternum collapses, and then you draw the sacrum in. So that is your sort of, Excalibur sword, if you will. The pelvis, your chalice. You want that balance. And this is the junction where the legs chats with the spine. And the communication has to travel through here. So if there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of tightness, there's lack of communication. And then we end up with a garbled mass. We end up with pain, discomfort, and tension and tightness. So maintaining the groundedness, the sacrum moving in without overarching, but let that facilitate the lifting upward. Broadening the collarbones, and then let the shoulder blades soften down your back. Lengthening up through the crown of the head. And as you do so, take one hand and place it on top of the head, very gently, very gently. Now we're doing sort of a little headstand pretend. So as your hand is resting on your head, now lengthening up into the hand, lengthening the head up into the hand. So the hand is barely touching, but it's like it's magnetized. It is pulling you upward, creating lightness in the spine. So a sense of still doing a headstand, but have awareness of your crown chakra, where you meet the heavens. So rebalance between the earth and the sky. Let your hand come down, but maintain a sense of a third hand still resting on top of your head. Kriya means action. And it is action, the doing, that becomes the deed, the karma. And Kriya Yoga, Patanjali's yoga, consists of 3 specific elements. The last of the niyamas, the second of our limbs, the personal practices. The first one is tapas. Tapas is conscious effort for a desired outcome. We must apply ourselves. We must tend to the change that we desire. Svadhyaya, self-study, self-awareness. What is your role in all of this? How do you factor in to it all? Why did you choose to take human form? What's your purpose? What's your dharma? And then the last is svara pranidhana. Surrender. Surrender control over outcome. And that's a toughie. Because if I do A, I want B. Or sometimes I get Q. I didn't ask for Q, but that's what I got. So what do I do with that? Did I make a mistake? Did I screw up? No. In everything, do the best you can. That's it. It's that easy. Letting the sits bones continue to descend, extending and elongating upward. Bringing the palms together at heart center. Svara is the Sanskrit name for God or the universal energy. That power, that energy that we all part of. So we surrender to that energy. We know we are part of it. When we chant Om, the primordial sound, we become even more so part of that energy. So as you breathe in and out, silently, silently, say Om. When we say it out loud, we can only say it on the exhalation because it sounds really weird when we do it on the in-breath. But when we say it silently, we can say it both on the in-breath and the out-breath. Aligning your energy, that vibration, that hum that is always within you, with everybody and everything else. As you exhale, bow your head towards your heart. Your inner light. Then inhale, draw the gaze up. Interlace the fingers. Let's take the arms up. Let's stretch to the right first. And let's go to the left. Back to center, twisting. Inhaling up. And let's go to the other side. Inhaling up. Interlace the hands again, awkward. Thumb in front, not awkward, but the other side. The one that, again, doesn't always get to take center stage. And then press the palms to the sky. Pressing the palms up. And if there's shoulder tension, just keep your arms wider. Keep the arms wider so that you're not irritating the neck. So practice where it is right for you right now. This time, let's go to the left first, the yin side. And inhaling up, and right, yang. We come up, and let's twist to the left. And then inhale up, and to the right. Inhaling up, reaching up, reach, 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 as you stay connected to the earth energy. Let's take the hands down and bring the legs out in front. Dandasana, seated staff pose. So, if the hamstrings are pulling you back, bend the knees up a little bit so you can come to sit right on top of the sits bones. It's perfectly fine. Take the hands besides. I'm taking mine slightly behind my hips. Lift up. The spine is always king. Spine is king. Draw the shoulder blades together. Draw the shoulder blades together. Move the sacrum into the body. Move the sacrum into the body. And then let go. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, but make it a big square. So don't try to come in really tight because we're going to travel in the opposite direction. So I'm starting out kind of wide and I'm just going to hop my seat in. Just hopping my seat like a little grasshopper. Now with the hands behind, I'm going to lift the heart as I press my toe mounts together, press my heels together. But then spread the toes, lift the heart, lift the heart, lift the heart. Draw the shoulder blades together, And breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then let's bring the knees together. I'm going to just hop back where I started. Back into Dandasana, seated staff pose. Straight legs or a little bend in your knees. Inhale, taking the arms up. Our downward facing dog shape. So again, spine is king, spine is king. So notice, what is the bend in your knees for you to maintain a lifted spine? A lifted spine. And again, you can take the hands wider. Take the hands where they need to be. Let's take the hands down. Everybody bend up the knees. Plant the feet. Reverse table top. We start with the inhalation, lift the heart. And if you are nursing a shoulder thingy right now, I'd keep the tush down. No reason to go any further. Otherwise, let's lift up, lifting up, lift the hips, move the sacrum in, move the sacrum into the body. That way, the sternum lifts and the head may go back, goes back. One more breath. And releasing down. And we're going to meet up in tabletop. In tabletop. So have blocks, maybe a chair at the top of your mat. So a chair is a really nice piece of equipment, a prop for sun salutations. Cat and cow. Exhale, rounding. Cat pose. Inhale, arch. Cow. The seed sound. Each chakra has a sound. And it's really, we played a lot with that this weekend in a way that I've never explored before, so I want to share it with you all. I practiced with the seed sounds for years, but the way that she introduced it was very different. The seed sound for, let's come to neutral, for the root chakra is lam. And she said, and so we're going to play a little bit with this. Seed sounds, it's like me now calling out and saying, Mary Beth. And Mary Beth said, here I am. When we say lam, 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 your tailbone goes, here I am. It awakens the energy in that area. It provides us with access to it, and it helps us release what's stuck. So as you exhale, silently say lam, 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 lam. And then move into cat pose, lam, 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 lam. Can you sense where your tailbone is, where your spine ends, your earth energy, which we must connect to the sky energy? Back and forth. And we might as well get the sacral sound, vam. So switching to vam, 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 silently as you exhale and coming into cat pose, vam, 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 vam. That is the sacrum. And then inhaling, vam, 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 vam. One more time, silently saying the sound. So we are vibrational beings. We are vibrations that manifest it into stuff. But we started as a vibration. Thoughts, speech, creation. Tuck your toes under. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Boom. And take a moment and play with your dog. Pressing one heel down, bend the other knees. You're going for a little walk. Having a little chat with the calves, the hamstrings, while you let the head hang completely relaxed. And you can do this with a chair. You don't have to do it on the floor. Just check in with your dog. Is it a happy dog? If your dog want to rest, you obey. You obey your dog's command. Now settling into a quiet dog. And now we're going to say lum, 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 lum again. The tailbone rises up. The tailbone is like a little sprout that is listening to the sound. So you are in downward facing dog. You are in downward facing dog. And you are again saying lum, 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 lum to get the tailbone energy. Pull you upward. So there is lightness in the dog, lightness in the dog. And a couple of cats too. Is there lightness in your dog? On the in-breath, let's look up. And let's step up to the top of the mat, all the way up. Forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, looking up. Deepening into a forward fold, letting again the root chakra Lam, lift upward. Lift upward. Take the hands to the hips, press into the feet, and we come all the way up. All the way up. Does everybody have a strap nearby? I'm going to raise my camera up a little bit because I'm just looking at a lot of floor and not so much. I should have a production person. But then we'd really be crazy. All right. So you have a strap nearby. We're going to start in Urdhva Tadasana. Actually, we're going to start in Tadasana. If it's available, bring your legs together. This is very Iyengar. Consolidate. If that makes you, if it's uncomfortable, take a block and place it between the thighs so that you have something to ground into. You want something to ground into. And it comes to most comfortable for most people to have the feet a little bit separate. It can feel really topsy-turvy to stand all squeezed together, but we want to get a sense of consolidation in and around our midline, the Majja. Majja, draw the hands down, hold the fingertips towards the floor, and now let the sacrum mutate inward into the body. Can you generate a little bit more lift of the sternum? Sacrum moves in, sternum lift up. So we want a very solid connection of the sacrum into the pelvis, but not, it has to have a little wiggle room. So that's what I meant when I said Excalibur's sword, because it sits there like a shield. As you inhale, tall mountain, take the arms up. And again, shoulder thingies, take your arms wider. Take your arms wider. As you reach the arms up, consolidating the legs, grounding into the heels and then extended upward, upward, upward. Own every cell in your body, straightening the elbows, straighten the elbows. So that may mean take the arms wider. Take the arms maybe wider. Are your elbows straight? If your elbows are bent, I'm going to bend down. That means your bicep are going to shorten permanently. So I don't care how low you take the arms, but have your elbows completely straight, completely straight. Nice, nice. So we are sort of shrink-wrapping ourselves into this very consolidated event. Now draw your awareness again to the tailbone. The Lam event, tailbone, the earth energy. Draw the tailbone upward. Draw the tailbone upward. What happens when you do that? Keep the elbows straight, keep the elbows straight. The arms may go out to the sides. That's perfectly fine. And then exhale, take the arms back down. Back in Tadasana. We're going to use the strap. So take your strap and make a loop. Okay. Slightly smaller than your shoulders, just a wee bit smaller than your shoulders. And then take your forearms into the loop, forearms into the loop. And loop the hands behind. So again, the purpose of this is it allows us to straighten the elbows, opening the joints, so the nadis, the nerve pathways that go through the joints. If the joint is congested, if there is tension in the rubber bands, the communication becomes garbled, leading possibly to dis-ease. So with the hands back, strap wrapped around. Now again, consolidate the legs, or stand with the strap. So very tight in the legs. Sacrum moves in. Bam, 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 bam. This sacrum sort of got it. Now draw the shoulder blades together. Draw the shoulder blades firmly together on the back body. Hold the shoulder blades together. Move the spine deep into the body, deep into the body. So pressing out into the strap is a nifty little helper. So from here, as you draw the shoulder blades together, draw the shoulder blades, but squeeze the shoulder blades together, and maybe lift the arms, maybe lift the arms up. Lift as you root, so everything is consolidating right now. Everything is consolidating. Breathe, breathe. And release the arms down. Take them out of the strap. We're back in Tadasana. How does the Tadasana feel? Maybe a little bit more openness across the chest, maybe none whatsoever. I am going to start with the chair sun salutation, and then we'll move to regular if you choose. Don't make it so hard. Balance everything you do between effort and ease. Too much effort, you're going to have a really crappy time. Too much ease, well, it's not going to be good either. It's boring. So we find that balance right in between. Effort, leg, earth, ease. The sky is the space. And we again connecting our root chakra to our crown chakra, the energies residing within. So as you stand in front of your chair, have a little bit of space. Tadasana, mountain pose, grounding through the feet, and a little bit of a squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Inhale, take the arms out and up. And exhale is fold forward, hands to the chair. Inhale, half forward fold. Left leg to the chair, right leg back. Take the right knee down. And let's inhale, take the arms up. Hands to the chair, and we step back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank pose. Take the knees down for Ustrasana, camel pose. Sacrum moves deep into the body and the heart opens wide. Inhaling, hands back to the chair, back to downward facing dog. Look up as you inhale and exhale, right leg all the way up to the chair, left knee to the floor, top of the foot, rest down. Inhaling, hands to the sky or keep them on the chair. We take the hands back, slide the right foot back a little bit, and we step up to the chair, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms out and up. And Tadasana, mountain pose. 55 and a half to go. Inhale, arms out and up. No, I'm at 54. I don't know how old I am. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half forward fold. And then exhale, navigate, right foot forward, left goes back. So take the right shin to the chair and then take the knee down. Take the knee down. Ease, don't make it so hard. Inhale, arms up. Moving the sacrum in allows the arms to take flight. Exhale, hands down to the chair. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, plank pose. Sacrum moves into the body in plank. Sacrum moves in. Exhale, knees down, Ustrasana, camel pose. Hands to the hips. Now we're helping the sacrum move even deeper and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And inhaling, up you come. Hands to the chair. And exhale, downward facing dog. I am watching you all. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, step the left foot to the chair. Right knee down. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the chair. Tuck the back toes under, give yourself a little space, slide the front foot back a wee bit. As you step up, we have the forward fold. Bend the knee and fly up with a straight spine. And Tadasana. We are back again, stand and feel, one down. So sun salutation, needless to say, have some heat in them. And because this is an evening practice, this is not the optimal time to bang out 24 sun salutations. We can do one more. I feel the sigh of relief across the screen. And for this one, I invite you to choose for you. Was the chair helpful or was it in your way? So if you would like to take the chair to the side, by all means, do so. Maybe have your blocks at the top. So it just makes it a little bit gentler with the chair. From mountain pose, rooting down through the heels, I'm gonna do a shout out to Allie. You're gonna do two bridge poses, Allie, as part of yours, because there's no back bends in Baxter's sequence. As you inhale for the rest of us, tall mountain, squeeze it in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. And exhale, step the right leg back. Take the knee down. And then inhale, hands on the knee or sky. Exhale, hands plants. Tuck the back toes under. We go back to plank pose. So just whether you're with the chair or on the floor, plank pose. Now on the chair, you're going to do Ustrasana. For the floor, knees down and then lower all the way down. All the way down. With attention to your sacrum on the floor, inhaling into cobra. Move the sacrum in and up for cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Looking up on the in-breath. And as you exhale, step the right foot up, left knee down. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe the hands. And we'll exhale, take the hands down, stepping up to the front, forward fold. Soften the knees, lengthen the spine, and fly all the way up to the top. Exhale, Tadasana. All right, we are on the home stretch now. Inhale, arms out and up. Consolidate. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half forward fold. So this is a back bend. Broaden. And exhale. Step the left leg back. Knee comes down. Inhaling, heart and hands. Exhaling, chair or floor, plank pose. And on the chair, you're doing Ustrasana camel. On the floor, you go all the way down. All the way down, ground the sacrum into the body as you inhale into cobra pose. And exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, all around. Looking up on the in-breath. And as you exhale, step the left foot up. And knee down. So the low lunge. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhaling, find the ground under your hands for Uttanasana, forward fold, stepping up. And inhale, let's draw the arms out and up. Reaching up, that was a 10. And we take the arms down. Tadasana. Pausing here. I know. Oh, we're going to just add a couple standing poses. Easy peasy. Let's stand at the top of the mat. Tadasana. For warrior one, and have a couple of blocks at the top. It might be helpful. Or you can just push the chair a little bit further away, because we're going to come into just a variation of warrior three, but we're going to make it handless warrior three, so we can keep our hands supported down. Take the hands to the hips, step the right leg back, step the right leg back. So now I'm in the high lunge, very similar before. Before you plant the heel down, let's take the right hip forward. Right hip moves forward, and then spin the back heel down. Spin the back heel down, but keep the right hip moving forward, and keep the legs solid, solid, solid. Solid, solid, solid. Inhale, let's take the arms to the sky. Arms goes to the sky. Back leg is super strong, super strong. Reaching up, reaching up. So I'll share this little tidbit of information. She said postmenopausal women should hold the poses for 5 minutes or so. Do fewer poses, hold them longer. And I do agree with that, because we need to build osteoclast. Yeah, I think those are the dudes. Bones, we need to build bones. So now as you reach up, consolidate, shrink wrap, everything in towards center, everything in towards center. And then do a little shout out to your tailbone, lam, 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 so that it retracts upward, upward. That's Mula Bandha. Move the sacrum in, move the sacrum in, move the sacrum in. And then from warrior one, let's take the hands to the floor or your block. So you have blocks, floor, chair. Take the hands about a foot forward, and then lift the back leg up. Lift the back leg up. Lengthening all the way back through the toe mount, all the way back through the toe mount. Lift the leg, and lift your left hip. Keep height on the left hip, keep height on the left hip. One more breath. And then we're gonna land that back into warrior one stance. Inhale the arms up. Let's take the hands down. We'll step back through dog. So we can switch out sides. Take the hands to the floor. Step back to dog pose. And then step your right foot up between the hands. Step the right foot up between the hands. And then hop the back foot forward, just a smidgen. Walk your hands up to the knee. And now, again, with an eye on the hips, are they parallel? Spin the back heel down, spin the back heel down. And then really solidify. Solidify the back leg. Now, an Iyengar term that's a little hard to incorporate safely. They like to say, lock out the knee, lock out the knee, lock out the knee. So don't hyperextend your back leg. Don't hyperextend it, but make your leg feel like a pillar so that your legs are supporting you. Now begin to move the sacrum in. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Moving it in. Let there be lightness so the arms will come up. Arms float up. Warrior one. Vira. Vira. That is also translated as brave. So hero or warrior. Brave. Vira. So don't do the pose, be the pose. Be the pose. What does this pose have to share with you today? As you exhale, let's take the hands down to the blocks or the floor or the chair and let the back leg take flight again. Let your left leg take flight. So the leg is still solid, super solid, super solid. Reaching back through the heel, the toe mount. The bottom of the foot is pointing straight back. So you still have a Tadasana foot, still have a Tadasana foot. And now lift your right hip, lift the right hip up, lift, 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 lift. And then exhale, let's plant the foot back down, step back through downward facing dog, stepping down, back down, through, down, left. That didn't come out quite as eloquent as I would have liked, but there we are. Let the knees come down and rest in wide knee child's pose. Resting in Ardha Mukha Virasana. So resting brave warrior. Letting your forehead rest on the floor or your forearms or a block, something, so that your neck can rest as well. Draw back to the breath. Drawing back to the breath. With each exhalation, the earth element in the legs invites you to soften a little bit deeper into the hips. Let the tailbone draw towards the heels. Lam, 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 lam. Let that energy calm and descend. Calm and descend. Let the breath just gently expand. And then inhale. You're going to draw back up to downward facing dog. Step the feet close together. Consolidate the legs. Consolidate the legs. Now call out to your tailbone to stay high. And as you inhale, let's take the right leg to the sky. So a friend from last week, lift the right leg. So the same action we just did with the warrior 3 shape. Now here, repeating it. And if your hamstrings again are shortening, rounding your spine, just bend the standing leg so you can get the height, get the height, get the length. Lift. So this is a little handstand. Let's take the leg down. Inhale forward to plank pose. Inhaling forward to plank pose. Move the sacrum in. Sternum broadens. And draw back to downward facing dog. Step the legs close together. Draw everything in around the midline. Let the tailbone be light as you lift your left leg. Lift the left leg. Draw the abdomen in and up. Breathe. Breathing. One more breath. Exhale, take the leg down. Draw the hips back. Reignite your dog. Reignite the dog. And then looking up. As you inhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Take the hands to the hips and inhale all the way up. So yang poses, check. Now stand sideways on your mat for Prasarita Padottanasana, so wide-legged forward fold. If you know that you like blocks for this pose, I say grab your blocks. Let's take the hands to the hips. So we start again with a sense of consolidation. Everything goes to the midline. It's holding on to that sense, even as we Prasarita, as we expand outward. Breath in and step the feet wide apart, wide apart. And check your feet, are they parallel to one another? Parallel feet. Bend the knees. I'm going to turn sideways. I don't know if you can't even see me, but sideways here. When I bend the knees, I maintain the lifted spine. Spine is king. Lift the spine as you draw the sacrum in. The heart lifts, sacrum moves in, and then we come forward. Take the hands to your blocks or the mat. Position 2. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the spine, lengthen the spine. So now your spine is completely neutral, as if you were standing in mountain pose. Standing in mountain pose. The tailbone has to move up first. The sacrum has to move in second before we have a prayer's chance of bowing forward. If we start from the head, but tailbone and sacrum is not moving, we are just going to paint ourselves right into a corner. So as you press into the hands, look up, look up, look up. Bend the knees, get some height into the pelvis, get some height into the tailbone. And from here, exhale, keep drawing the tailbone up as the head descends down towards the earth. Tailbone moves up. The head will only move down if the tailbone continues to draw up. There is the geometry and the architecture of the pose. You can slide a block under the head or keep your hands on the blocks. I'm just having a peek all around. So this is our headstand, stand in. Headstand, stand in. Draw the shoulders towards the hips. Draw the shoulders towards the hips. But let the head hang completely suspended. Then on the next in-breath, we're going to walk the hands forward. And we're going to pivot on the mat. So from the long side of the mat, that was not very elegant, but I just sit here. Walk your hands towards the top of the mat as you pivot on the feet. And you travel back through one last dog. One last dog. Then take your knees down and come onto your back body. Come onto your back. Have a block nearby. You'll need a block, maybe a strap. So as you lay on your back, lay, lay. It's one of those two. Bend up your knees. Feet hip width apart. Heels under your knees. So heels under knees. Now lift the hips
And then slide your block under your sacrum. Go wide on your block. So lay down, lift the hips, slide the block under, onto your back, lift the hips, slide the block under. Don't try to roll down over the block, lest you want a concussion.
So now feel how solid the sacrum is. It's the thickest bone in our body. And with the block, we allow it to soften inward on its own accord. Quite nifty. Rolling the shoulders under. Roll the shoulders under so the back of the shoulders come to rest on the earth firmly. Straightening the elbows and either grab onto the mat or if you can, wrap your hands around the block or use your strap. So reach around the block. Keep the elbows straight. Keep the elbows straight. That rule is not negotiable. Inhale, lifting off the block. Move the sacrum in, contract the back body firmly so that the sternum is now moving towards the chin, Jalandhara Bandha. Call out to your tailbone is moving deep into the body. So the glutes are working. Lam, 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 bum, bum, bum. So these are powerful poses. As you exhale, allow the hips, allow the sacrum to come back to rest on the block. And we're going to travel into the Vipariti Karani here. So you might like your block lower. If you want the middle height, you may like to have 2 blocks. But then if you want 2 blocks and stack them on the flat side. Let's start by drawing one knee in. If that goes well, take the other one in. You may also decide to stay in supported bridge. If it bothers you to take the legs to the sky, stay in supported bridge. So either straighten the knees, hands down alongside the hips. So the upper body, the shoulders and the upper spine is still very much in bridge pose. We're lifting and expanding across the chest. So this is our little shoulder stand. It's like a baby shoulder stand. We'll be getting very much, most of the benefits from shoulder stand, but without the strain. One of our best poses to stimulate the endocrine system. The thymus is taking a bath right now. And we are also efficiently and very easily promoting lymph drainage right into the main funnel to the liver. And all you have to do is just lay here. Keep grounding the shoulders, lift the heart, move the spine into the body, move the spine into the body. We need to change the name for this class. It's like yoga with your furry friends. I love it. Now, as you exhale, let's bend the knees. And then one at a time, let them come to the mat. And then we will reactivate the multifidi, the sacral support system. As you inhale, press the feet into the floor and squeeze the bun. So you're not lifting up as much as you're just squeezing everything in around the sacrum. Do that another 4 or 5 times. And then lifting off the block, slide it away and come all the way down. Come all the way down. So as you come to rest on your back, keep your knees bent just for a bit. Keep your knees bent. So let your whole spine
Melt into the floor. Melt into the floor. Let there be ease. The effort is over. One knee at a time. Release them out to the side. Slide the legs long. Relaxing your arms so that your palms are facing upward and that your armpit chest is open. Jill, are you okay?
Oh, I just keep getting this notice on the front that Loom, not Zoom, but Loom wants to have me install something. I can't see you. I could hear you, but I was trying to get rid of it and kept going. Are you sure you want to cancel? I'm sorry.
That's all right. So as you begin to settle into Shavasana, where we are now marinating. With all our friends. Take a moment. Scan your body. Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Or can you do something to increase the comfort? Breathing in and out silently again. Om. Silently recite Om. Let the vibration of Om, the vibration of the sound of the universe, infuse every cell in your body. As if you're taking a vibrational bath, directing the sound to areas that may need a little bit extra nurture. And that can be physically or emotionally. Now let the silent Om fade away. But can you feel it is still there? Pranava, the Sanskrit word for the inner Om, our inner individual vibration that we share that is always there. Powerful healer. Now allow your breath to begin to deepen. As you deepen your breath, begin to invite in gentle movement. Stay connected to your inner vibration. The essence of what brought you here is still there. The vibration that manifested into you. Bend up your knees. Rock the knees gently from side to side. Rolling all the way over onto your right or left side. And then pushing up into a comfortable seated posture. So we're halfway through first chapter of your nighttime story. This is verse 27, 28, and 29 of the Yoga Sutras. Chant Om, the sacred syllable, and manifest divine grace, recognizing who you truly are. Chant Om and let it resonate within every cell in your heart, in your hands, and throughout your body. Let it transform you at your very core. Chant Om, its sweet sound dissolving all obstacles, clearing the fog of the mind and revealing your true self. So this is what this is what we mean, but that sounds very hoity-toity. When you hear that Om is the most powerful of all mantras, this is where it comes from. It is because you are taking it to the highest vibration, the one that God, or whatever the name you choose to use for the energy that brought us forth, is within you. The Om sound, O-M is how we say it, but it's spelled A-U-M. It starts at the back of the throat as if you're saying, ah, but then you roll it over the top of the palate to the behind the teeth, and with the mouth closed to get the M sound. Om, Om. So it becomes tighter and tighter. There are volumes, verses written about how long the sound should be compared to the Om sound, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Let it be your happy sound. There are then 4 components to the Om sound. There's this voice, but then there is the silence. That silence is when we really connect inward. That is called Anagata. Sounds a lot like my name, Anagata, but I'm just putting that in there. So I'm the silent one. Let's put our hands together at heart center. And let's chant Om 3 times out loud. We've done it silent the whole class. Now let your Om flow. Let's take a deep breath in. Om. Om. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart, your light, the essence of you. Namaste.
comment.